Hello and welcome to CineBolt. The holiday season is finally just around the corner, and that means it's time for us to check out some of the best Christmas movies. While there are a ton of movies across different services to choose from, we've done most of the heavy lifting for you, and carefully hand-picked 7 of the best Christmas movies on Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus and Apple TV Plus. So from amazing holiday classics to irresistible modern favorites, here are the best Christmas movies that you should add to your watch list right now. On number 7, we have Scrooge, A Christmas Carol. It is a 2022 animated fantasy musical film directed by Stephen Donnelly and adapted from the 1970 film Scrooge. The main story is set on Christmas Eve, where tight-fisted entrepreneur Ebenezer Scrooge is visited by the ghost of his former business associate, Jacob Marley, and the spirits of Christmas past, present and future, in the hope that he will learn the error of his ways. But with his very existence in danger, Scrooge has but one Christmas Eve left, where he has to face his terrible past in order to build a better future. Overall, Charles Dickens' timeless fable is reborn in this supernatural and musical adaptation of the Christmas story, coupled with amazing musical scores, together with creative animation and cinematography. A Christmas Carol is simply a delightful movie to watch. The movie has a 6.1 rating on IMDb and a 73% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. On number 6, we have Spirited. It is a 2022 Christmas musical comedy film directed by Sean Anders and is a modern retelling of Charles Dickens' 1843 novella, A Christmas Carol. The main story follows a stingy businessman who treats everyone around him with terrible selfishness, but then unwittingly finds himself on a fantastical adventure as he journeys into the past, present, and future in order to discover how he ended up so miserable and alone. This is the second movie on this list that is actually a retelling of Charles Dickens' ageless legend, but it is so well executed than the first, and it's quite possibly a Christmas classic that will only become more appreciated as the years go by. The songs in this film are all uplifting and beautiful, while Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell are both iconic and amazing. Packed full with impressive singing, dancing, and some truly gifted stars, Spirited lives up to its name of a lively holiday entertainment and is a must-watch for any musical fans. The movie has a 6.6 rating on IMDb and a 79% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. On number 5, we have The Noel Diary. It is a 2022 Christmas romantic drama film, directed by Charles Shire. The plot revolves around Jake Turner, a popular author who returns home during Christmas to settle his estranged mother's property. However, Jake later discovers a diary that may hold secrets related to his past, including that of an alluring young woman named Rachel, who is also on a path of her own. Rachel shows up at the same time in search of information about her birth mother, Noel, who used to be Jake's nanny. Noel was 17 at the time of Rachel's birth and had to give up her child for adoption, as she could not afford to take care of her. Together, Jake and Rachel embark on a life-changing journey to confront their past and then discover a future that's totally unforeseen. Overall, it's a movie that really captures the Christmas spirit. If you're someone who enjoys cheerful movies that can just make you feel good and later leave a big cheesy smile on your face, then I assure you, you won't be disappointed. The movie has a 6.1 rating on IMDb and a 67% critics score on Rotten Tomatoes. On number 4, we have A Boy Called Christmas. It is a 2021 Christmas fantasy film directed by Gil Kenan and based on the 2015 book of the same name. In this origin story of Father Christmas, the plot follows a young boy called Nicholas, who sets out on an fantastic adventure into the snowy north in search of his father, who is on a quest to discover the mythical elf village of Elfhelm, together with a stubborn reindeer and a loyal pet mouse. Nicholas soon meets his destiny in this magical and captivating story, which ultimately proves that nothing is impossible. All I have to say is that I totally enjoyed this movie, aside from putting a plausible twist on where St. Nicholas actually came from. Its brilliant and intriguing storyline is sure to keep viewers watching till the very end. The movie has a 6.7 rating on IMDb and an 83% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. On number 3, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. It is a 2022 television special, written and directed by James Gunn for Disney Plus. The main story centers on Drax and Mantis, who are on a mission to find the perfect Christmas present for Quill, who is still depressed after the loss of Gamora. But after brainstorming for ideas, they decide to go to Earth and retrieve Quill's childhood hero, actor Kevin Bacon. Bacon, who is waiting for his family to come home for Christmas, is frightened by the arrival of Mantis and Drax, and so he tries to escape. But Mantis places Bacon in a trance before taking him with them. Later, the Guardians surprise Quill with a Christmas celebration, but Quill is shocked to learn that Bacon had been kidnapped and demands that he be returned home. However, after learning from Kraglin how he has inspired Quill's heroism, Bacon decides to celebrate Christmas with the Guardians before returning home. The Guardians Holiday Special satisfyingly brings Phase 4 to an incredible conclusion, while also delivering a tiny piece of festive fun that still carries all the humor and emotional weight we've all come to expect. The movie has a 7 rating on IMDb and an 80% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. On number 2, we have Violent Night. It is a 2022 Christmas comedy action film directed by Tommy Wirkola. The film stars David Harbour as Santa Claus, who takes on a group of elite mercenaries after they attack the home of a wealthy family and take everyone inside as hostage. First of all, this movie is simply amazing. While it's full of heart-pounding action and a lot of funny moments, the storyline to this film was really well planned out and executed perfectly. The movie also manages to hit just the right levels of brutal action, without entirely feeling like a downright horror flick. So if you're looking for a movie with the right mix of fierce action and warm spirits around the holiday, then be sure to add Violent Night to your must-watch list. The movie has a 7.1 rating on IMDb and an 88% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. On number 1, we have Home Alone. It is a 1990 Christmas comedy film directed by Chris Columbus and is the first film in the Home Alone franchise. The main storyline centers on 8-year-old Kevin McAllister, who detests the fact that he resides in a family that constantly bullies him. But when his family decide to leave for their Paris Christmas vacation, Kevin is unknowingly left behind by accident. Despite the turn of events, Kevin makes the best of his situation as he finally gains the liberation he's always wished for by jumping on beds, eating ice cream, watching gangster movies, and doing whatever he pleases. However, when 2 criminals, Marv and Harry, decides to invade his neighborhood by attempting to steal precious valuables from his house, Kevin tries to save his home by setting up many booby traps, so he could prevent the robbers from stealing before it's too late. Despite being released more than 30 years ago, Home Alone still ranks as one of the most renowned Christmas movies of all time. It's an incredible movie that successfully blends a great deal of humor with a fascinating story, unforgettable characters, and heart-touching moments. And of course, who could forget those memorable booby trap sequences? For me, they are actually the best parts of the movie. And the movie has a 7.7 rating on IMDb and an 80% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. If you enjoyed or found this video helpful, then I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button, and also subscribe to CineBolt if you'd want to see more videos recommending you the best movies and series to watch right now.